You guys see my counter?
Yes.
Alrighty, okay. So, time is yours. Remind yourself this is for you, not for me. I already know how to do all this stuff. So, what do we got? Nobody's got anything?
Can you do like a pressure equation like the favors the left, favors the right?
Yeah. Typically, that will be a gas situation where they say, you know what, given the following equations, and they're all going to be gases, right? And who can tell me what I need to look for there? Anybody remember what the one thing we typically look for? Nobody? Yeah, number of moles, right? So, as this is, how many number of moles are on the left? 6. How many numbers of moles are on the right? 8. Which one's going to take up less space? The ones with less moles, right? So, what they're going to do is they're going to do something like this. So, which side would be favored if the pressure was reduced? Okay? If my pressure is reduced, it's basically meaning my volume's done what?
Your volume increases.
My volume increases, right? Because they're what kind of relationship, Hayden?
Inverse.
Inverse, exactly. So if my volume went up, which way would this sucker shift? Nobody? I heard it.
Right.
Right. It would shift to the right, which means it would favor the what?
Product.
Favor the products. Is that what you're talking about, Yuri?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and there's I know at least one on there. Didn't we talk about one of these the other day? Similar to this? Anybody?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah? Okay. There's an E there. Is that good, Yuri? Do you need more?
No, that's good, thanks.
Okay. Anybody else?
Can we do a pH example?
Yeah. So pH. Now remember, there's like 4 different ways I could ask this, right? So let's say I did this. Let's say I said given actually let's do this. Let's say given a pH. I didn't do that last time, did I? What did I give you last time? Does anybody remember? Didn't we do a pH one the other day?
pOH concentration.
Okay. So given a pH of, I don't know, let's say I went with 9.24, and they're going to ask you one of 3 things. Find the pOH, find the OH negative concentration, and find the H3O positive concentration. That is one of the 4 things they're going to ask you, right? So, who can tell me what I should do first? Well, what's the easiest to do first? Let's put it that way. Yeah, why is that? Yeah, so all I got to do is take 14 minus 9.24, and that's going to give me my pOH, correct? So what's that?
4.76.
4.76, and again, he did a good job right there at giving me the what? Sig figs, right? Okay, now, once I know those, how do I find these? Anybody remember? Not a soul? Is she right? Yes, she is. So I'm going to go 10 to the negative 4.76, and that's going to give me what? 1.74 times 10 to the negative 5. Did you see how I was waiting for that? Yeah. What about H3O positive? That's going to be 10 to the what? Negative pH, which is 10 to the negative 9.24, which is 5.75. Now, what can I do here to check them? Anybody remember?
And you can look at the power on the 10.
Okay, what was KW though? Anybody remember? So somebody times those two numbers together and see if that's what we get. Whoa. Oh man, I screwed that up. Yeah? I mean, we might be decimals off, I guess, because that does happen sometimes, right? We pretty close? Yeah. Whoa. Oh yeah. I mean, I got 1.0005, right? Is that close enough? Because it all depends on where you rounded, right? Nobody got 1.0005?
Yes.
Yeah. Would we be smart enough to understand that that is the right answer? I would think so. Okay? Whose question was that? Does that make sense, Allison? Okay. Anybody else?
You know when you're doing like division equations and you have the, like for example, like one that had, there was a 3 in front, but there was, on the top and bottom there was like a 1 and a 1.
You got to times it by. Yeah, you
times it by 3, but the bottom doesn't multiply, right?
No, they all do.
Okay.
The only reason, so Kevin, the only reason we didn't in that one is because the bottom number happened to be a what? Does anybody remember what the bottom number in that was? The bottom number, Kevin, was a 0. That's why it didn't matter. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, actually, look. It is right. I have it somewhere. Give me a second. I can find it. Yeah, it was right here. Because that bottom number was a 0, so we didn't worry about it. Right? Isn't this what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. But if this was like an alpha particle or something, then yeah, I would have to take that and times it by both of those. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else?
Are we gonna have to?
Over like what an alpha particle looks like or a beta particle, or do we not have to worry about that?
As far as like a fission equation,
Yeah.
let me look. Let's see. Alrighty, so day 4. Let me look at it. Day 4. So, did I have 4 days? Did we review for 4 days or 5 days? Actual review. Anybody remember? Just trying to figure out where that question was at. Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah, I'm going to be honest here. I do not remember seeing a beta particle or an alpha particle on there. Probably wouldn't hurt to have those, you know, the alpha 4 and 2, or the beta, you know what I'm saying, written down somewhere. But I know for sure that they had neutrons on there. Do you understand what I'm saying there?
Yep, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? You guys remember me saying that you guys needed to come to this prepared, right? So I'm hearing a whole bunch of crickets out there, and it's starting to make me a little nervous.
So with intermolecular forces, you're gonna have to tell which is one.
Okay, so the type of question I ask you there is you kind of need to know how they rank, right? Is which one's the strongest, which one's the weakest, right? And then within that, you really have to remember that that in order for me to hydrogen bond, I have to have a what?
Hydrogen dispersion.
Well, but I got to have a hydrogen bonded to a what? An F, O, or an N. But I would definitely know the three main ones, right? Hydrogen bonding, dipole, and Lennon dispersion. I would definitely know those and the difference. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How do we tell if someone's dipole? What was the first thing we looked for? Anybody remember? Lone pairs, right? A way to make that sucker charged. Okay, and then Lennon dispersion, they're the weakest, and that's just pretty much it for everything else. Okay? Anybody else got a question?
Can you do a limiting reactant one?
Limiting reactant one. Woo! Doggy. Yeah, let me find something. Now, I believe that the question, Yuri, is actually a art one, if I recall. Does anybody remember me talking about that? I want to say it's an art one like this. You watching? So if I gave you this, if I said that I had 2A plus 3B is going to yield 2C like this, right? And I did this. And I did that, okay? And I simply said, which is limiting? Would you be able to figure that out? Anybody want to take a stab at this?
B is limiting reaction.
B is limiting?
Yes.
Can you explain that, Trenton?
In order to make 2 C's, you need to have 3 B's and 2 A's.
Okay.
And both the A's and B's have the same number of mass.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm going to be honest, this is what I would have done. I would have simply said, for every 3 B's, I need 2 A's. So I said, well, 1, 2, 3 B's gets rid of 2 A's, right? And then another 1, 2, 3 B's gets rid of 2 A's, right? What do I have left over? Don't I have some A's left over? Well, if I got some A's left over, that must mean they're in what?
Excess.
In excess, which means my B had to be limiting, which is exactly what Trenton was saying. Just done a little different way. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure that's what that question's like. Okay? Anybody else? Now, did all of you get an email from me that explained kind of what was happening this week? I sent it to you and your parents.
Yes.
So only one of you, only Taylor got that sucker?
I got it.
How many of you know whether or not your parents got it?
My parents got it.
Okay, really, you need to understand something. They kind of set a schedule out and said this is what we're looking at, and then last Thursday they changed that. I don't, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to assume it's because other teachers aren't doing what I'm doing. They're all just can't wait to get this sucker over with. So, I don't know. It is what it is at this point. We'll make the most of it. Is there anybody on here that's really having heartburn about, like, they're working on Thursday or something? Nobody? Okay, so we should be good to go. What?
I was supposed to, but I got it off.
Oh, good, smart. Okay. I mean, it is what it is. We got one more test. That's all that matters. Then we're done, so let's just get it over with, okay? Alrighty, so any other questions?
Can you go over, like, naming compounds?
You know what? That's really funny you said that, because the minute you guys stopped talking, that's where I was going. Okay? So, let's say I did this. Let me give you... let's see. Let me find a good one here. Here we go. You know what? This is what I'm going to do. Alrighty, so... I don't know who that is, but are you alright? Let's say I did that. Name that sucker. Let's do this. Let's go to 7. Let's count to 7, and let's name that. Three.
4, 5.
One more?
7.
Alrighty. So, I believe I said 7. Who is number 3?
I was.
What do you got for me?
3-methyl cycloheptene.
3-methyl and then cycloheptene?
Cycloheptene, yeah.
Cycloheptene, is she right?
Dan, wouldn't that be 2-methyl?
2-methyl, that's a good question. Would that be 2-methyl? Anybody recall the rule there? Nobody wants to take... I got to cross the double bond first, right? I got to cross that double bond first, so if I had to cross the double bond, wouldn't I have to go 1, 2, 3, Tolman?
Yeah, but then also there's a few exceptions to that rule when we were doing the homework for the smart.
Okay, but that was when I had a what? You're right, but that's when I had a what, typically?
Isn't that what it's been to?
Yeah, typically that's when I had a benzene ring. Most of the time, I can't remember one of these where that was different. I believe the ones you're referencing were all benzene rings. And that was because the sum rule. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That is the difference there. So whoever brought that up, I think you're exactly right. Was that you, Allison?
Yeah.
I believe you are correct. So if you go back and look at them, Tolman, I believe that's what you'll notice. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? Now, let's say I did this. You ready? Now, Tolman, this is exactly what I'm talking about here, okay? Let's go to 10 on this one. Let's go to 10.
One.
2.
Three.
I think we're on 4.
Yes.
So I'm 4.
Five.
6.
Where we at? 7?
Yeah.
8.
9.
10.
One more? Anybody?
10.
Alrighty, so, who's number 4?
That would be me.
Alrighty, Sierra, what do you got for me?
Okay, I am probably wrong, so we're gonna go with it.
Okay, well, hey, I'm gonna be honest. This one is tough. So what do you got for me?
I've got 2 ethyls, 3 propyls, got 5 chlorobenzene.
Okay, now, first off, every one of those have a number with them, right? Right? And look at your sum. Look at how big your sum is. Okay, the reason I chose this is exactly what Tolman was just talking about. Okay? In that, if this is a benzene ring where the double bonds could move, I just go with my lowest what, Tolman?
Sum.
Lowest sum. And if I'm going to do that, watch. Wouldn't I go 1, 2, 3, 4? And you see how that gives me a 1, a 2, and a 4, which is a sum of 7, versus you, it's got a sum of 10?
Yeah.
What if you started at chloro, though?
Okay, so if I start at chloro, then I am 1, 2, 3, 4. I still have a sum of, let's see.
Because then it's chlorobenzene.
That's what I did.
Okay,
That's what I did.
okay. So that means, because those sums are the same, right?
Yeah, but I thought that if it was a chlorobenzene, you have to start where that is.
Okay, and you're right. This actually could have 2 answers. And you're exactly right. So you're telling me,
Isn't that a different sum?
what?
Isn't the red a different sum?
Oh, it's 8, isn't it? Was that you, Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right. If I go with the red, and this is, man, okay, now,
Again, because if you go with the red, then that means the one is chlorobenzene, so you don't need to number it. So you don't need
but the number's still there. But I see your point. Yeah. That's a good one. I see the point of naming it a chlorobenzene, but technically, because that number is still there on my drawing, that would be an 8, as Aaron pointed out, whereas the other way would have been a 6, or a 7. And that,
Do you not have to start on the chlorine, on the chlorobenzene, if it's a bigger sum in a different way?
no, some rules with benzene rings. Which is, which is the point, Tolman, well, not the point, but the question you had earlier, Braden,
Yeah.
that's why, when you talked about there being exceptions, it's really not an exception other than you need to understand that if it's a benzene, the sum rules. And regardless of whether or not I'm going to write it down, because I know, like if I was going to call this a chlorobenzene, that 1 still exists. So if I would have went with that, that would have been a 1, a 3, and a 4, which is 8, whereas a 1, a 2, and a 4 gave me a 7. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one, I would have named this. I would have went 4-chloro, 1-ethyl, -2-propyl benzene. But I can see how that would be confusing. Okay, let's do an easier one. Let's say I did this. Let's say I did that. Everybody do that one.
One.
Two.
Three.
Four. Five.
We at 7?
Eight.
2 more? Am I going to get to 10?
What number are we on?
We should be at 9. I think we had an 8, didn't we? Nobody? Well, let's just keep going. Who was 5? Nobody was 5? Somebody had to be 5.
It may have been me, I can't remember.
Oh, you already went. How about 6? Who was 6?
That was me.
Okay, you want to take a stab at it? It's alright. Well, if you're not, it'll give me a point to teach on. Go for it.
2,3
So 2,3 dichloroaniline. Anybody else get that?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I would have written down. Come on, woman, have some confidence. Good job. Okay. Let's say I did this. if I gave you C5H8 and asked you what type of hydrocarbon is this, can anybody answer that?
Yes.
What is it?
That's an alkaline with a Y.
An alkaline?
Is that how you say it?
No.
Dang it.
How do you say it?
Alkyne.
Alkyne. It's an al. Why is it an alkyne, Tolman?
Because it's 2x, so it's the C is x, and then the H is 2x minus 2.
Didn't I give you all three of them? Little formulas like that? Right? Okay, now, here is...
How often will it be when they use those formulas?
Say what?
How often are they using those formulas?
Yeah, I just showed you one. There's one.
Okay.
That's it. Okay? Now, what if I did this? Okay? Name that sucker.
One.
What was that? Am I still projected and stuff?
Yep.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Alrighty. All I got is 1?
I'm 2.
Oh, 2. Let's go to 10 here, people. Which means we got a long way to go.
3.
3, there we go.
4.
6.
What number are we on?
scrapped it 2.
Oh, wow, okay.
3.
There we go.
No, wait, I said, why was it?
Yeah, I was 6.
Oh,
Be good.
You're those, man.
We're on 7 then.
what do we need? What do we get to? Do we need 2 more or just 1 more?
Still at 6, I think.
No, it's 7.
We had a 6, didn't we? Nobody? Well, we're wasting
Yeah, I
enough.
was 6. I guess we're at 7 now, I think.
Alright, let's do this. Let's go. Who is number 4? Hudman, weren't you number 4? Yeah. Yeah, see? I know people's voices. Okay, so.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't know, like, I wouldn't say I'm thinking from.
Okay, stop right there. That right there is what I thought everyone would miss, so good job. You know it's trans. You know it's trans because...
First,
What?
does trans go first?
Does trans go first? Anybody want to take a stab at that? Yeah, it comes first. What would I have?
Trans, 2 carbon 3, that's 2 carbon 3.
Mm,
That's
no, you just need just the first number.
a 2.
So it's trans dash 2 dash what?
17.
Pentene. Yeah, you only... Yeah, no, that was good. This is what I thought everyone...
2.
What?
Where's the 2 from?
The 2 is because the ene, the double bond, happens between carbon 2 and 3, and I number it by the lowest number.
Oh.
Again, that's that whole sum thing, kind of like what Toma was talking about earlier. I want to have the lowest numbers possible. Okay? Alrighty, so, listen up. We have one more class on Wednesday, right? You need to come prepared with questions. And then we have the test on Thursday. Okay, now did you get an email from me that talked about the credit, no credit stuff? Withdrawal dates and all that stuff? You guys got that email, correct?
Isn't it too late now?
Did you not read my email?
No, I don't want credit, no credit.
Who said that they got my email and actually read it? Anybody?
I did.
And what about the credit, no credit stuff? Withdrawal dates? Okay, it's all on there. Technically, you can withdraw right up until Friday, which is why it was so important to move that up to Thursday. Hudman, you listening to me?
Yeah.
So, that's kind of, that and the administration kind of forced this upon us. But it's all good. So, We need to come to class prepared on Wednesday. That's it. And then we'll go again Thursday at 9. And then we will take the test from 9:30 to noon. But Thursday at noon, this class is over. Do we all understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. I will see you guys on Wednesday.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to leave this open until 10. So if you have any questions, you can chime in, alrighty?
Okay, bye.
Okay, see you guys.
Thanks, man.
Yep.